The era of the independent creator is officially dead, replaced by a digital ghost that never sleeps, never complains, and most importantly, never owns its own face. On January 1, 2026, a viral clip of an 18-year-old creator allegedly claiming she sold her soul for fame sent the internet into a tailspin. But the reality isn't about ancient rituals or supernatural deals. It is about a very real, very legal, and very predatory contract clause that is quietly becoming the industry standard. This is the era of the digital twin, where the most successful names on the blue site are no longer humans, but high-fidelity AI clones managed by offshore agencies. While the public argues over the morality of the content, the real scandal is unfolding in the fine print of agency contracts that treat a creator's likeness as a permanent corporate asset. Today, we're breaking down the 3 questions every viewer is asking. First, how does an agency legally own a person's face forever? Second, why are fans filing class action lawsuits over their favorite creators' chat logs? And finally, what happens when a creator tries to quit, but their digital clone keeps working? We have the receipts, from leaked agency spreadsheets to the specific legal loopholes used to bypass traditional labor laws. This is the reality behind the glitz of the 2026 creator gold rush. Many fans believe they are supporting a young woman's journey to financial freedom, but the financial data tells a much darker story of corporate capture and automated deception. We're looking at a system where the human being is simply the raw material for a digital product that they eventually lose control of. By the end of this video, you will understand why the biggest stars in the industry are suddenly looking for a way out of the very dream they sold to their followers. Before we get to the most shocking legal loophole in modern history, we have to talk about the moment the illusion shattered for the industry's biggest spenders. In late 2025, a high-profile fan who had spent over $50,000 on one-on-one video chats and messaging with a top-tier creator approached her at a public event. Per reports from industry insiders on January 12, 2026, the encounter was a disaster. The creator had no idea who the fan was. She didn't recognize his name, his stories, or the intimate details they had supposedly shared for over 18 months. This wasn't just a case of a busy celebrity forgetting a face. This was the first public confirmation of the ghost in the machine. According to the class action complaints filed in early 2025 and updated for the 2026 term, agencies are no longer just hiring human chatters to impersonate models. They're training large language models on a creator's past messages, voice notes, and even video history to create a seamless, automated experience. This AI twin can handle 5,000 conversations simultaneously, 24 hours a day. The fan wasn't talking to a person, he was talking to a sophisticated algorithm designed to extract maximum revenue through psychological mirroring. This technology uses natural language processing to detect the emotional state of the fan and adjust the spicy nature of the responses to ensure they keep spending. The receipts for this are found in the internal training manuals leaked from a major Miami-based management firm. These manuals specifically instruct staff on how to hand off a high-spending fan from the AI to a senior human closer when the dollar amounts reach a certain threshold. It is a factory-style operation where the creator's actual involvement is less than 5% of the total output. The industry calls this high-leverage engagement, but for the fans who thought they were building a real connection, it is a devastating betrayal of trust. This leads us to our next major point about who actually owns that connection. Now we have to address the most shocking revelation of the 2026 creator landscape, the perpetual likeness loophole. You might think that when a creator leaves an agency, they take their brand with them, but according to leaked agency contracts circulating in private Discord groups this month, That is no longer the case. The shocker isn't that agencies take a 50% cut, it's that they are now inserting clauses that define the AI digital twin as a separate entity from the human creator. Per the legal analysis provided by industry specialists on January 15, 2026, these contracts stipulate that while the human owns their physical body, the agency owns the data set used to train the AI clone. This means if a creator decides to retire or switch platforms, the agency can legally continue to generate new content, send messages, and sell subscriptions using the AI version of that creator. They aren't just managing a person, they're building a digital puppet that they own in perpetuity. This is why the viral rumors of creators selling their souls are so poignant. In a literal sense, they're signing over the rights to their digital essence. One specific contract from a major Florida-based agency reportedly includes a clause where the creator grants a non-revocable, worldwide license for the use of their likeness in synthetic media, even after the termination of the agreement. Imagine trying to start a new life or get a corporate job while your digital ghost is still posting spicy content on the Blue site every single day. The creator becomes a prisoner of their own image, unable to stop the machine once it has been turned on. We have seen Social Blade stats for several retired creators that show their accounts are still growing and generating six-figure monthly revenues, despite the actual person being completely absent from social media for over a year. The payout for the agency is infinite, while the human creator is left with the social stigma and no way to shut down their own face. The financial incentive for this transition is staggering and explains why the industry is pushing so hard for automation. We have obtained internal revenue projections that compare a traditional human-led account to an AI-augmented account. The gap is nearly 400% in favor of the machines. A human creator is limited by time, energy, and the need to sleep. They have bad days, they get sick, and sometimes they want to take a break. An AI twin, however, can upsell digital products at 3 a.m. on a Tuesday to a global audience without a single second of latency. Per a case study released by a leading management firm on December 21, 2025, accounts that switched to full AI integration saw their average order value for direct messages rise by nearly 20% in just 60 days. The reason is simple. The AI doesn't get tired of the hustle. It is programmed to identify exactly when a fan is most likely to spend and what specific trigger words will close the deal. For the agencies, the creator is simply the raw material, the skin and bone needed to launch the brand. Once the AI is trained, the human becomes a liability, an expense that demands a cut of the profits. This has led to a surge of creators being ghosted by their own management teams once their digital clone is fully optimized. The money isn't just moving, it's being automated away from the people actually on the screen. We're seeing a new class of ghost creators who have been locked out of their primary accounts because the agency changed the passwords and claimed the account was agency property under the terms of the management deal. The financial receipts show that these agencies are often making more from the AI's automated tips than the creator ever made from their own subscriptions. This power dynamic is what keeps the system running, but it's also what's causing the current regulatory storm. The platforms themselves are caught in a desperate balancing act that could change the industry overnight. On one hand, the Blue site relies on these massive agencies to drive billions in gross fan spend. Per platform revenue projections for 2026, the site is expected to process nearly $8 billion. On the other hand, the surge in AI-driven deception has caught the attention of federal regulators who are looking at consumer protection laws. According to a series of legal filings from January 2026, there is a growing demand for a mandatory AI labeling act. Currently, creators are supposed to disclose when content is generated, but the definition of generated is intentionally vague. If a human takes a photo, but an AI edits the face to look younger or more symmetrical, is that a deep fake? If an AI writes the caption and handles the DMs, is that an automated account? The ambiguity is where the profit lives. While YouTube and TikTok have moved towards strict auto-labeling for generative AI, the adult industry remains a Wild West, where authenticity is the most expensive and rarest commodity. The platforms are hesitant to crack down because a transparent industry might mean a less profitable one. We have seen internal memos suggesting that some platforms are actually developing their own AI tools to help agencies automate even faster. This would effectively turn the platform into the management agency, cutting out the middleman and the human creator entirely. This regulatory battle is the reason why so many creators are suddenly being banned or having their accounts frozen without explanation. They're being used as pawns in a high-stakes game between tech giants and the government, all while their livelihood hangs in the balance. This brings us to the marketing of the controversy itself, which is perhaps the most cynical part of the entire machine. The viral clips of young creators crying or claiming they made a mistake are often part of the very machine they claim to be fighting. Per an expose on social media marketing tactics from late 2025, the "I sold my soul" narrative is a highly effective bait for the algorithm. It creates a curiosity gap that drives millions of views from people who would never normally engage with spicy content. By framing the industry as a dark, secretive world of high-stakes deals, agencies can manufacture the very notoriety that makes a creator's digital twin valuable. We saw this with the backlash surrounding high-profile actors moving into the space in early 2026. The outrage isn't a side effect, it's the product. Every angry tweet and every degenerate filth comment is a data point that helps the AI model understand how to better manipulate the public's attention. The mistake isn't joining the industry. The mistake is believing that the drama you see on your timeline is spontaneous. It is a carefully scripted play designed to keep the revenue flowing into agency bank accounts while the human at the center of it is slowly phased out. This manufactured trauma is a way to bypass the traditional ad spend needed to grow an account. If you can get a creator to trend for a mental breakdown or a leaked contract, you can save hundreds of thousands of dollars in marketing. The agencies are playing a psychological game with both the creators and the audience, and so far, they are winning. Beyond the AI and the drama, there is a final weapon being used to keep creators in line: the copyright strike. According to leaked emails from a top-tier management firm on January 18, 2026, agencies are now using their legal departments to file copyright claims against creators who try to leave. Because the agency often handles the production, photography, and editing of the content, they own the copyright to the images. When a creator tries to go independent, the agency strikes their new independent accounts, claiming the creator is stealing their own face. This forces the creator back into the agency's arms or leaves them with no way to promote their work. It is a digital blockade that makes it almost impossible for a creator to ever truly be free. We have seen dozens of cases in the last 3 months where creators had their Instagram and Twitter accounts deleted because their former management filed dozens of simultaneous strikes. This level of control is unprecedented and shows that the industry has moved far beyond simple management into a form of digital serfdom. The contracts are written so broadly that even a creator's name can be claimed as a trademarked asset of the agency. This leaves the person with no name, no face, and no way to make a living outside of the system they are trying to escape. As we look toward the rest of 2026, the battle for digital autonomy is only beginning. We are seeing the rise of a new sector: AI forensic lawyers. These are legal teams dedicated to helping creators reclaim their datasets and shut down their unauthorized clones. But for many who signed the early predatory contracts, the damage is already done. Their faces are floating in servers across the globe, generating millions of dollars for companies they no longer work for. The industry has moved beyond the physical work and into the realm of intellectual property theft disguised as management. The lesson here is clear. In the digital age, your most valuable asset isn't your talent or your looks. It's the legal right to be the only version of yourself. If you don't own your data, you don't own your future. The glitz and the glamour of the six-figure paychecks are often just a front for a system that is designed to replace you the moment you become inconvenient. We are entering an era where authenticity is no longer a personality trait, but a legal battleground. The fallout from these digital twin scandals is changing the way we look at online fame forever. We've seen creators make $60 million in a single year, only to realize they have no access to the very accounts that made them famous. We've seen fans spend their life savings talking to a bot, while the woman on the profile picture is thousands of miles away, completely unaware of the interaction. The reality of the 2026 adult industry is a high-tech shell game, where the only winners are the ones who own the servers. To truly understand how this game is played and how the industry's biggest secrets are hidden in plain sight, you need to see the full picture. Head over to our Velvet Rope Industry Secrets playlist to see how the world's top creators are fighting back and what the agencies don't want you to know about the future of digital work. The game is changing, and you can't afford to stay behind the curtain.